Hello to everyone, this is Alberto Loya, and I will present um, a system that I have created here in SMTC. It's, um, it's a system created in the Visual Basic Excel, and it's very common here to handle a big quantity of information. Talking about the bill of materials or BOM. So, as a ECN coordinator, it's very important for me to compare current and previous information or current and new information just to review the changes between the revisions mentioned. So let's see about what is the system. For example, it's very common here, and it's very common for other places where I have worked to use the system arena. That it's very friendly actually because it's available when you get a BOM downloaded. It's common to have the information about the part type. You know, it's a build. It's well in assembly, something that you have to complete with several about parts. About part, it's a part that you can get in the market. Usually, the purchasing team it's the ones that are in charge to buy those parts, and the part about are all the components that are inside to the part that it's bought. You know. So with this information, I just take the first 18 columns from the page and I add it to the macro, and I take the last column with all the descriptions about the part type. And why the first 18? Well, it's because no all the BOM are the same, so it's it's a the quantity of columns it's different. The information is different because it's different the quantity of the manufacturers and well yes the ABL. It's very changing. Sometimes there is less or more, but that's why. So here it's the information that we get from our system. It's the information that the company, well, um, before to get it up, uploaded in the company system, we can extract or to get this information downloaded. And there is other system, additional system that it's rapid response that it's common in other places. So it's very important for me to have this information because it's the result about how was loaded the information. Sometimes even when we have loaded the information correctly in the other system called Agile, it's not consumed correctly. Sometimes it's missing well some information. It's something that we have to give a double check just to verify that the information is corrected. So now that we have those three files that are the yellow information, we are able to run the the macros. I have placed a green arrow here that it's the one used to refresh all the information, but well, Firstly, Arena always will give you negative information that um, based in on what I have reviewed. It's information. It's trash. It's information that was no developed. So I have created a macro here just to delete all the negative information. I mean, here it's easy because it's a spare part, bill of material. But when you have a top level part and you have like 1,500 rows, well, it's very it works good. So in the other system, as you can see here, the prefix it's adding some points, and it's adding the prefix of the customer that is very common in the companies. The internal revision has other characters such as S1, S2 because also we work with internal changes and the internal ECO. So I have placed another micro here just to um, work with that information in the proper way. So now we have the perfect match between the form between both L sheets. So though that information was changed, it's because we are seeing here a lot of errors. So now it's time to run the other macro. And now with this, what I'm doing here is that there is a comparison between the information of Arena and the one of our system. So what I'm seeing here is that only I have a error that it's a part number that it's a document. So there's not a big deal. So it's the same error for the both files. The revision. The problem it's the revision. One of them is 11 and the other one is 10. So now I know that I have focus in that information just to review what is the change between those files. What I have placed here, well, it's a macro to highlight in red all the discrepancies. Here, well, just it's one. It's a very small BOM, so there is not any trouble with that. But it's very um, useful for a big bill of materials. So with this other macro, we can turn the lights off or turn the previous highlighted. I have placed here another button. This is to review if the part number is a component or it's a document. So here, based on the information that it's provided by Arena, I know if it's an assembly, if it's a ball part or parabole part, and all the information that it's identified with a zero, it's because it's a document. So here the code is um, uh, well, marking in red color here because it's an error, and it's because the comparison between the internal system it's telling me that this part should be a document, but it's um, recorded as a part number. So this is my first mistake here. It's something that I have to correct. I have other button here, but well, this is not the example. But with this part, we work with several categories. All the letters D are for components that are bought or part about. The phantom is for um, components that it's not necessary to create a work order. For example, it's an assembly of label where you need a ribbon and when you need the paper of the label, but it's an assembly that you have not to sell. So that's why it's cataloged by a phantom. The Y, it's about material that it's for MRO, tape, cable ties, chemicals, and that kind of products. So what the part type validation do is that we have here. Let me show you. Well, first of all, it's a code that is working with 21 modules of information. I think that the one for that it's the 8, where there are a lot of rules that I have been feeding with all the possible cases. For example, if we have a component that it's about component, but the description it's a label, ribbon, zip, tie, table, bubble wrap, and the others. So that should be identified as with a Y letter that it's a MRO product. For example, if I have this component as a B, that should be wrong. Yes. Why? Because the description is letting you know that it's not a normal bout part. It's a MRO part. It's a code that I have been feeding, but we have to continue feeding that code with the further mistakes in the future. Here in the company, it's used the parent-child information. It's like a FIFO or face in, face out. So with this macro, it's possible for me to know which of those parts have a parent-child setting. That is very important for me because if I have the instruction by ECO to consume first the component of revision A before to start with revision B, so it's important for me to have that setting because I have to assure the the revision A consumption. But if I receive another BOM, another new BOM, is requesting to start working with the revision B, that macro is going to help me to know that I have a parent child in there. So I have to review the ECO to know the inventory disposition and to find out about if it's possible to consume the revision A for this new BOM. You know, if it's not specified, well, I have to consult it with the customer. So with this other macro, I can review fastly. It's a code that it's feeding, but a rapid response in the moment. I don't need to open rapid response. It's a fresh information. And what it's doing, it's to review the um, the, the part types, the current part types, and are making a validation between the last revision. If the lower revision, the part type was um, a Y part type, and now we have a B, so it's something that the macro is going to alert me. And well, I could start with an analysis just to review which it's the correct part type. Work orders. It's a big problem here to start with ECO implementation when we have a work orders in process. It's very critical because if you are applying a change for a product that it's advanced and there is a difference of quantity, prices of components, you will to have a financial problem because the BOM won't cost the same. So if we should have one of those assemblies in process that will be impacted by this change, uh, this will be marked in purple color. So now I have not that situation, so I'm free to implement the change without any trouble. So the green color bottom, it's to announce that I have a discrepancies. So it's something that I have to review. For example, if I'm sure that there is not a problem with this. Well, for example, this before was a Y per type, so I will review it. There is not any trouble. So this is telling me that it's a part, wait, it's a document, but I have reviewed this and there is not any trouble. Well, we can remove the alert or the red color and try again. And this time I will be sure about the word. It's okay. So if everything is okay, the macro is going to prepare email for me and just to notify which are the changes. So this is a special area that I have to prepare the um, the new structures of the bombs. So the way that I used to work with that kind of bill of materials, it's that I only will take the information that have a discrepancy between the two systems. I mean Arena and the one of us. So I will take the information in the structure. Sorry for the time, it's just that I need to prepare this information. So imagine that I have 20 changes here. Well, with that information, I will start with my structure here. So but now, well, I only have this. Anyway, wherever be the information, I will place it here for the new structure, and it's something that will be included into the email with the notification. As you can see, well, this will be here, but well, this is just an example. So the other validation that I have is the one from the rapid response. Here it's going to make a validation between the other validation that I have in the previous sheet, and it's going to compare the last report generated by